What's going on? This is Marcus, and in today's video we are going to go over our household net worth. Now, if you're interested in following my debt-free journey and learning about finance, I definitely invite you to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button because it'll definitely help the channel grow. Now, before we get started, I always gotta talk before we get started. So first, let's talk about a few housekeeping rules. I will be adjusting the drop time of my videos. It's still going to be Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday, but there's going to be an afternoon drop around 4:30, 5 o'clock, as opposed to dropping it early in the morning, 11:30 a.m. and 9 a.m. on Sunday. So I'm dropping the video same date, different time. That's housekeeping rule number one. Housekeeping rule number two is, hey, moving forward, I'm going to, let me see if you can see it, my head in the way. But I'm going to post a quote on this board right here behind me. I got to turn around with my head all in the way. But let me read it to you, the quote. We're going to do this once a week or whenever I feel like I want to drop a good quote that I just think is just kind of fitting. But the quote is, "Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything." That's a quote from George Bernard Shaw. He ended up winning in the battle of quotes. It was between him and Jay-Z. Hov had a hotline, but I'll save that for another date. And shout out, I got that idea from one of my ace boom coons. People still say that. One of my ace, my homies on YouTuber, fellow YouTuber, and I thought that was a great idea. So yeah, I appreciate you for dropping that on me. And that was the first quote for the week. Now, hey, let's talk a little bit about me personally. Okay, I know I released the video and I talked about my quarterly updates. It was supposed to be kind of a net worth thing, but somewhere there was some miscommunication that was primarily on my part. So, but as a rule of thumb, I fucked it up. So let me write that shit right now. Hey, I'm gonna write that shit right now. Let me go ahead and make sure that here's the net worth video, here's the net worth numbers that I'm gonna drop. Y'all let me know if y'all want this to be like a quarterly or monthly thing. I mean, I'm cool either way. Y'all let me know what y'all prefer. Big shout out to the homie Brett at Plan Your One Life. The link to her video showing her net worth reveal and her channel below. And Andrew Lopez Finance, he dropped some jewels on net worth and breaking down some percentages. So, alright, now enough of the apologies, enough of the housekeeping. Now we are on to the actual net worth. So, I'm going to go ahead and talk through it. I'm going to put the screenshot up so y'all can get a good visualization. And I'm going to just talk about a few points. So, we're going to first look at the assets and we're going to look at property. Alright, my primary residence is valued at $535,000. Rental property number one is valued at $165,000. Rental property number two is valued at $150,000. And then land that's valued at $40,000. So those are essentially all of the property, real property assets that we have. Now, for those of you who've been following this journey and following my channel, y'all know the purchase price of the rental properties and the primary residence. I'll probably put those links in the description box below for anyone who's new who want to catch up. Now, next we're going to talk about what we have in retirement investment accounts. So, in retirement investment accounts, we have $255,000. That's in retirement investment accounts. Next, we'll talk a little bit about the vehicles. Now, vehicles, my 2007 Mercedes S550 is $17,000. And it's funny because I was shocked at how high that was actually valued until, when I thought about a few things. One, I don't even have 60,000 miles on the car. And two, back in 2007, when whoever the big baller was who originally bought that car purchased it, that was over $100,000 car. Now, am I going to pay over $100,000 for no car? Hell no. Even if I had $10 million, I wouldn't pay over $100,000. But back in 2007, when it was brand new, it was a $100,000 car. That's how come it really has some value still in it. That value is at $17,000. I actually think I did a video. I'll post a link, a video that I did related to my cars and the car expenses, and that'll show out the purchase price. The wifey's '07 BMW is valued at $6,000, and my '07 Ninja is valued at $3,000. '07 was a good year for cars. It was right before they started making cars with those thin plasticky materials back when they was clean, but they still had a nice metal frame that you could stand on the hood of the car and you don't got to worry about it bending. Now we're going to talk about the total asset value. Now this total asset value is valued at $1,171,000. That's the total asset value. The total value of all of our assets is $1,171,000. Now let's turn the page and talk a little bit about the liabilities. Okay, so as you can see from the slide, with regard to our primary residence, we owe $432,000. With regard to our rental property number 1, we owe $75,000. Rental property number 2, we don't owe anything. The land, we don't owe anything. Retirement investments, we don't owe anything. No 401k loans or anything like that. My car, the Mercedes, we don't owe anything. The BMW, we don't owe anything. The motorcycle, we don't owe anything. And then right down at the bottom, we have student loan number 1, which is the one we're paying right now, and our debt snowball is $102,000. It started at almost $110,000. And student loan number 2 is $130,000. So when we look at the total cost of all of our liabilities, it's $739,000. Okay, so now let's bring this full thing into picture so we can kind of see how everything plays out. Okay, primary residence, at the end of the day, we have a positive of $103,000. Rental property number 1, we have a positive of $90,000. Rental property number 2, a positive of $150,000 because we don't owe anything on it. Rental property, well, not rental property, but the land, we have a positive value of $40,000 because we don't owe anything on that. Retirement carries right on over, $255,000. No 401k loans, like I said. We used to have some, but we dug out of that hole all of last year. The vehicles, nothing owed. So on my car, value of $17,000. On the wifey's car, value of $6,000. Motorcycle, value of $3,000. And the only thing that we have that's really showing up as red on this spreadsheet are student loans. Student loan number 1 at $102,000. Student loan number 1 at $102,000. Student loan number 2 at $130,000. When we break all of the math out, our total net worth is $432,000. That's kind of where we stand. Originally, I didn't plan on really tracking the net worth until we paid off one of the student loans. But if it's something y'all want to see quarterly, let me know and I'll update it quarterly. But right now, that's kind of where we are. I think the thing to remember here and the thing to point out is that, one, as I look at this chart, one of the most important things is essentially, and this is crazy, but essentially you can see why the student loan is really a priority for me. I mean, because those are the only things that we have that do not increase our net worth. Now, I mean, in theory, do they increase our net worth? Yeah, because my law degree and my wife's master's allows or affords us an income. So there is a value to the student loan because it affords us the opportunity to make income. However, right now, those are the only things that are really negatively impacting our net worth. That's kind of the reason why we wanted to focus on those student loans. I mean, for those of you who've been tracking our debt snowball progress, I mean, we're paying $3,600 essentially a month towards the payment of student loans. And I would much rather use that money to be able to invest it into retirement accounts, or an alternative to actually purchase additional real property so that we can get some income producing property and build that equity in the home, but also have rental proceeds coming in. So that's first and foremost. That's clearly why you can see why we're attacking the student loan. We probably put it off for a long time, far too long, but now we're looking to take out the student loans in maybe 5 to 6 years or sooner, just kind of depending how things go and how aggressive we are. I think the second thing to understand is when we talk in net worth, and it's crazy because I see a lot of net worth videos out there, and I see a lot of people who are financial experts in this arena, either by having the appropriate degrees and certifications, or they just consider themselves financial experts. But for me, I think the thing with net worth is you have to realize everyone has to start from somewhere. As for those of you who've been following my journey, trust me, I've been unemployed, I've been underemployed, I've been to the point where I'm juggling so utilities don't get cut off. So it took us a substantial amount of time to get to this point. You know, it's not something that's done overnight. It's something that's done through making a change and having consistent progress of reducing and eliminating debt and actually building up assets. So don't judge your journey on what anybody else is doing, because everybody's journey is going to be different. Some people are going to have a journey that they can eliminate debt and build wealth fast. Other people are going to have to do it over time. Everybody's journey is different. Also, you have to understand that financial independence is different for everybody. With some people may think, you know, $5 million is financial independence for them, whereas others may think, hey, a paid off home and not owing anybody and having $1,500 a month to spend towards everything else that I need or want is financial independence. So don't get too caught up on all the fire stuff and the minimalist stuff. All you can do is focus on you and make the best decisions for you that you need to make moving forward. And I think the last thing that I will have to put into play here is, I always talk about the time value of money, and it's clear to show the importance of the time value of money. If you look at that retirement investment amount that we have, that's really our employees. We have that many employees. That each dollar is an employee that's out there working for us. And so I did a video once where I talked about how you can always get a stimulus from the government, and it's through investing. But that's 100% true, because there are days where the market can do well, and just from my investments alone, I can have a $1,500 to $2,500 swing in you know, how my assets go. Now that could increase or decrease on how the market goes, but we know over time the market averages about a 10% return. I posted the numbers on my investment returns before in the video: 15%, 22%. I had one year where it was like -6%, but that was kind of an anomaly. Personally, there's normally always some growth that can beat inflation. So that's it. That's what our household net worth is. That's where we currently stand. We are on our journey to financial freedom. That investment amount started off with me doing 2%, then we did 3%, then we did 5%. But it's all about slow, progressive steps moving forward. Let me know in the comments if this is something you want to see quarterly, or if just a sneak peek, you know, once a year is comfortable or whatever. Because, you know, I put it out there however much you all really want to be updated as to the status of it. As always, I appreciate you all tuning in. God bless. Be safe, be healthy, be prosperous. Peace. Yeah, but I'll start over. My daughter brought me some food while I was in here recording. She's so helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Close the door, sweetie. Oh man. Breakfast slap. Alright. Now I'll be over here chewing. This won't be in the actual final footage.